Hello, viewers. I'm SB,
And I'm Amabel.
and welcome back to the horrible, terrifying new future here in Pentiment. It is now 1543, 18 years, I think. We just went back and checked since the death of Andreas Mahler. And who knows? Who knows what horrible thing is about to befall this town? We would not be here were something horrible not about to befall this town, right?
I would assume, yeah. Maybe just her being rad and like burning people, just absolutely taking them to task with her quick wit.
The
Like,
rest of this story is just Magdalene laying people out. Wow, the rat house
Ma-
is really
yeah, it's just Magdalene doing murders, like Twitter murders.
the rat house is the biggest building in Tassing. Baltus's clock took ages to build in place.
Oh,
Well, good on Baltus. We're gonna go in the rat
yeah.
house last, obviously. Is Werner around? I'm not allowed to run indoors. They will not let me press the run button in here.
Oh, is there a run button?
I mean,
I didn't realize that.
there's like an accelerate slightly button. See, I'm doing it now.
Okay.
It's sort of a jog politely button. Who's this guy? Magdalene! Magdalene! Stare nervously. Oh, don't look at me like that. It's a happy occasion. The cinnamon I added to the beer is perfect.
Uh,
Oh, cool. This is like a really weird thing to say, isn't it? I guess cinnamon's like probably less common in their time. Like just, it's harder to have stuff just be everywhere back then. So
yeah.
maybe it's so noteworthy that this doesn't come off as a weird thing to say. Feels weird to
Yeah, I
me.
guess. I mean, I don't know, but like, do people put cinnamon in beer? Is that
Well, Baltus does.
Maltus does? Yeah, I don't know from beer, so I don't.
Isn't that a spice? Yes, with many wonderful properties. It's for the Christmas celebration. Oh, I suppose you don't have much time left. Quite right. The wheel of time stops for no man. But it's going to be wonderful. Cinnamon, coffee from Ethiopia, cacao from the New World. Yeah. I understand some of that.
Okay, I don't.
Jesus Christ. He who has the money can do everything. Problem? Of course not. It's your money. Anyway, I'm quite excited about it. Clearly. As such, alchemy is not normally my strong suit. And for all of Naziu's complaints about the cost, the base rye we're using is free. Wait, rye? Isn't that against the purity order? Well, the council and we agreed not to discuss it in public. Besides, I'm not charging anyone for it. And this makes it better? The farmers had so much rye this year, they just couldn't use it all. Gret made us as much bread with it as she could, but she wound up having to throw a lot out. So why not make beer? I literally did nod vaguely after he said that, so I feel like,
Yeah,
thank you. What did he just thank me for? Ugh, what a mess. I don't know how Baltus can get anything done with all this in the way. So, what's your deal, my dude? Okay, we don't really get to know. You're just a guy who's very eager to show off his chest hair. I guess I get it. This is like the masculine form of the boob window, right? Maybe he's a
guess.
superhero. I don't understand how we're still arguing about this. These murals should depict the truth. What we know is the truth. Well, I don't think it's so simple, Caius, right?
Klaus.
Klaus. Yeah, Klaus is his name. I remember. Are you afraid of angering our Lord, Father Thomas? I think Father Thomas means that the truth is not so easily agreed upon. I don't know. I'm tired of arguing. I just wanted to look nice and show what happened. Ooh, Big Jorg, maybe lose an eye?
Oh, he might have, yeah.
Magdalene, thank you for bringing these. Maybe illustrations will succeed where talking has failed. I'm done arguing with them. I'll see you at home for supper. Oh, okay, it's just on me then.
Sure. Thanks, Dad.
It's all right, Magdalene. We don't need to see the drawings. It's not that we don't understand what he's trying to do. I didn't realize we'd upset him so much. Well, it sounds like things got worse after I left. Well, we've been arguing about this for almost 2 hours. Yeah, for all the good it did us. He hasn't budged. What's the point of talking if you can't make any progress? Magdalene, could you speak to your father? Help him see things from our point of view? This bottom one is sassy, but in sort of a petulant way. I'm gonna go top.
Yeah.
Father Thomas, I don't even know what you're all arguing about. What is your point of view? Klaus has strong, very strong, opinions on how the history of Tassing, of Kearsarge Abbey, should be portrayed. And those portrayals may upset some of our neighbors. Well, isn't the real concern that it's going to upset the Lord? Isn't everyone really worried about him coming here someday and seeing the revolt memorialized on the wall? You keep saying that we all disagree with him, but I don't think I do. Not entirely. Well, okay, what do you think, Jorg? I know I'm not the smartest man in this room, but I know what happened to my own dad. I know what he did. It doesn't feel right to ignore what happened to him. What happened to Otto? Look, you all knew my dad. I never had a chance. I don't want to make the people in this town angry. I don't want to make our Lord angry. None of us do. But maybe there's a way to tell this story in a way that's true without upsetting anyone. So, it's all very complicated, you see, Magdalene? Try to get him to consider a portrayal of our history that's a little less inflammatory. Well, I mean, I think we gotta take our dad's side here, right?
Yeah.
Do we just bristle?
You know, I'm gonna let you call the shot on this one, sweetheart.
All right, I'm gonna bristle. And to think, the council's meant to be the best of Tassing. Magdalene. Such speech is entirely uncalled for. We need to come to an agreement or call off the mural entirely. He's been wanting to paint this mural for years. You can't tell him no all of a sudden. Then help us, Magdalene. Your father will listen to you. How do we want to keep being mean to them, I guess, is like the main character question here, and it seems like it's going to be relevant a bunch.
Yeah.
We picked the barbs, right? Should we stick to it?
Let's stick to it, because here's the other thing.
Yeah.
I think in the two of us playing Andreas was too nice too often, which screwed so many things up. So let's go for it.
I think the formal diplomacy system disagrees with you. We got in a lot of trouble with both the Guy storyline and the Martin storyline because we were relentlessly mean.
Okay, but Casper came back because we weren't mean to him enough, and we certainly we had trouble convincing the innkeeper guy because we were too empathetic. So we got penalized for that. I'm just saying, my general instinct is I don't want to hurt anyone's feelings of these digital people, and that
Oh
I
yeah, I
don't
don't
think that
feel that
served
way
us
at all.
well. Yeah. So let's just go. Let's just
All right,
pick the most entertaining answer as often as possible.
fine, but only so he can paint it, not on account of your bickering like children. Now I'm going back home. This mess has taken up too much of my day already. Oh,
Oh,
that's very cool. Magdalene, thank you for bringing the drawings to the rat house. I'm sorry it was a waste of time. Those men don't know what they want. And when I tell them what I'm trying to do, they get scared. And then they talk and talk and talk. They talk all day, and we're never any closer to a decision. I'm sick of it. Sick of the whole thing. Yeah, we're not doing this. We're not actually trying to convince him in their direction, I don't think. Uh,
yeah.
I think we just express concern. It's just, Dad, I'm worried about you. I know. I appreciate the concern. I suppose I haven't been this upset about something in a while. I'll get through it. I just need time. Why is it bothering you so much? Well, we hear all these stories about what this place was, how it came to be. And it feels like history is something that happened before, happened to other people. But 18 years ago, we lived through something, you and I, and everyone in Tassing. Everyone wants to forget about it, pretend that it didn't happen. But you don't. No, I don't. All those years ago, I did nothing. I was worried for you, worried for Benjamin and Rachel and Esther. I was so afraid that I'd lose you. I wouldn't have been able to bear it. In the end, so many people died anyway. Peter and Ulrich and Andreas and all of the others. And we lived. Dad, everyone says that it wouldn't have made any difference. If you and the others had fought, you would have died. I would have died. Maybe I could have stopped him from going to the mill. Or maybe we could have stopped the peasants from burning it down. But we'll never know. So is that what this is about, this mural? Well, it's a chance to put something down in a place where everyone can see. If people start to forget, this will remind them. We were here. This happened. If I don't do it, who will? I mean, he's right, right? We're taking this side. Okay. You're right, Dad. I wish the men in that rat house saw me the way you do. They'll come around, or I will mercilessly browbeat them. I hope so. All the arguing has left me beat. I'm going to bed early. All right. I'm going to stay up for a bit and write a letter to Esther. Good. Please say hello to her from me. And her parents. I know, Dad. Good night, Magdalene. I love you. I love you, too. Holy shit, he vanished. All this running around has left me tired, too. It'll be nice to sit down at my desk and just write for a while. So, I mean, it says sit down at your desk. You know, she says it would be nice to sit down at the desk and just write a while, but like, we are given the ability to walk around and leave the house and everything. So, I mean,
Mm-hmm.
should we assume there's something worth finding out here?
Maybe.
Okay, not a real conversation.
And he keeps calling us mags. We already told him not to do that.
Hi, Black Till. Ava. Christina. Hi, Magda. Hello, Christina. What are you doing today? Helping Mom. Otz is right. You're really pretty. Oh, thank you, Christina. You're really pretty too. Thank you. Don't tell, it's a secret. Oh, I'll keep it secret. Kid is adorable. You're funny, Magda. So that's the kid acknowledging that I'm not going to keep it secret, right? It's cool
Yeah.
that we all understand what's going on here. When I make fun of Otz about it later, it won't be betraying her trust. Not allowed to do it right now. Ursula,
Ursula, the murderer.
the thread puller. We're still not really allowed to talk to these people. I guess it's probably the case that everybody's still in the same state they were in. Probably. I don't think time actually moved forward, right?
Yeah.
All right, I guess we can just go right then. Like, I don't want to spend a bunch of time just walking around and not finding anything. You know, on camera especially. All right, where to begin? I should write to Esther. Dearest Esther, I'm going to do what Dad said. I hope you and your family are well. Dad sends his regards to your parents, as usual. I spent the last few days collecting oak galls with Sister Gertrude. I don't suppose you have the chance to do that in Prague. Sister Gertrude has been teaching me how to grind them into a smooth ink. It's difficult work, but you'll find no better ink anywhere in Bavaria. I'll send along a bottle with this letter. Oh, did I mention? Dad started a new project. He's painting a mural of Tassing's history in our new rat house to memorialize the revolt. The whole thing has me thinking about my own family history, past, present, and future. Okay. Are we looking forward to taking over the printing shop? I mean, obviously the girl has a love of language.
Yeah.
Is that enough though? Tassing is small.
Caffeine is small, and I don't have a sense of what caffeine is like 18 years on, because it was in pretty rough shape,
Yeah, that's
or
true.
economically.
Yeah, that's true. Like during the Act 2 times, nobody would want to stay here. It's hard to know
Yeah.
exactly how much that's changed.
I mean, I will say that I always have a lot of empathy, sympathy for characters who want to go out into the world and do a thing and get
Okay,
away from where they came from.
it's good
So it's
enough
just
for
something that
me.
resonates with me. Yeah.
I don't think I want to stay in Tassing forever. It's a quaint place to grow up, but I'm 20 now. Dad says I should take over the shop, but I want to do more with my life. Not just take over a print shop in some tiny town in the Alps. And if I married a master printer, then I could become part of the Printers Guild. Then I'd be able to send my dad my extra earnings and make a name for myself in one of the cities. And yes, before you break the nib off your pen, I will come visit you in Prague, I promise. I'll try to make time to visit before winter. Life has been bustling here. Dad's been busy with the Rat House mural, so I've taken over in the workshop. I'm sure it'll be a sight to behold once it's finished. Write back to me soon. All my love, Magda. Oh, I guess time had passed. And now a very small amount more time has passed. Just gonna poke my head outside real quick. Looks like... well, okay. Most people are not still out. Things are a little different now. Otz still has nothing to say. This kid's been standing on his porch staring into the middle distance for like 4 hours. Alright, I mean, I think I just want to go to bed.
Yeah.
We don't want to wander around, right?
Yeah, let's go to bed.
Alright.
We need to have some direction, something that we're looking into in order to wander around and find stuff out, I think.
It's late. I should get some rest soon. Go to sleep. Oh, scandalous.
I like that slipper kick. That was good.
Just fully on top of the sheets.
No one puts covers on. It's so strange.
Ah. Dad? Dad? Magdalene. Dad! Hang on, I'm coming. Holy shit.
Oh.
Dad! Magdalene. What happened? Are you alright? You're bleeding. Someone came into the house. And they hit me over the head. I'll go get Dr. Stoltz. Try not to move, Dad. Magdalene, it's not safe. Whoever attacked me. Well, this wound is too deep for me to take care of on my own. We need Dr. Stoltz. Magdalene, be careful. I will. I'll be right back, I promise. That's a lot of blood on the ground. Wait, what happened to right back? Okay, we're skipping that scene entirely. Do you know why anyone would want to attack you, Klaus? No, maybe someone didn't like one of the books I sold them. Are you sure you didn't see a shadow and hit your head on the printing press? Come on, Jorg. You saw the workshop. Somebody was looking for something. A burglar in Tassing? That's preposterous. Well, if it wasn't an attack, what was it? Enough. It was a deliberate blow to the head, unless any of you wish to debate my diagnosis. No, of course not. As I thought. Truthfully, Klaus, I'm surprised the blow didn't kill you. You have a strong skull. It's a grave injury. Magdalene, you'll need to help take care of your father. Well, I will. Whatever I need to do. Good. Of course, the mural will have to be called off now. Klaus, you absolutely cannot get out of bed. No, it has to be done. This is too important. Just give me some time to rest. I'll find a way to make it work. I don't think we need to cancel the entire project. Can't we just wait? Klaus, your health comes first. Anyway, we haven't even been able to agree on what the mural should be. Indeed, it might be best to abandon the entire idea. With respect, Father Thomas, you are not on this council. Yes, just offering an opinion. I can paint the mural. What? Mags, quit joking around. Well, I know you want to help your dad, but aren't you too young for something this big? Uh... It is fucked up that Otz is on the town council, right?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe
You
we
want to
don't.
go?
Maybe we don't take the version of this that's just shitting on Otz for no reason, though. I don't think this is like the strongest argument. Well, I'm old enough to run the print shop by myself, and Dad trusts me to illustrate the books. Isn't that enough? Painting a mural this large and complicated will take a lot of skill and expertise. So that's why we were having your dad make it. He's been making art forever. I agree with Paul. Klaus needs home care. You're best suited for that, Magdalene, not a mural. What is that supposed to mean? Well, are you sure you're up for it? Physically, I mean. It's quite demanding. You'd be up on the scaffolding and could fall. Yeah, I bet everybody's real worried about my health.
I like the middle one.
Yeah. I like the indignance of it. Are you not listening to me? I've already been doing this work for years. I know what it takes. Dad knows what it takes. Do you? I can do it, Dad. If you don't trust Magdalene to do the mural, to hell with the lot of you. Klaus! If you don't trust her, you don't trust me. I'll never do any work for this council again. All right, way to stand behind your daughter, dude. All right, I say we let her. It doesn't look like we have much of a choice. Very well. All right, Magdalene, you can do it. But you still need to talk to us about what you're doing, all right? I don't know that I need to say this. It's true, but I'm not going to say it. I'm going to say, of course. Thanks, Magdalene. Now rest up, Klaus. I'll do my best, Jorg. Okay, so it wasn't a murder, it was nearly a murder. Unless there's about to also be a murder. Magdalene, wait just a moment. Yes? What is it? Your father is lucid right now, but his injury is severe. His current demeanor is misleading. Well, I know the injury is severe, Werner. I saw the blood. Magdalene, there's damage to his brain. He may have a few weeks, maybe even a few months left, but he's not going to survive. But no, there has to be something you can do. No, I'm not a surgeon. Well, can we take him to see one then? No, he can't be moved in this condition. In fact, he shouldn't move at all. Even if he could, I don't think the finest Italian surgeons would know how to deal with trauma like this. So he's just going to die. And there's nothing I can do about it. Well, you can make him comfortable and you can enjoy the time you have left. But time will run out before long. Okay, well that's pretty grim.
Yeah, that's rough.
I guess this means it was a murder. For what that's worth.
Yeah.
Dad needs to be able to see the mural in its finished form. But I don't know how much time he has left. Werner said it could be a few months or... God protect him. I'll pick up where Dad left off. He wanted to paint the history of Tassing, from its earliest days to the revolt. I'll start with the earliest part of Tassing's history, the pagan tribes and the Romans. Then I'll move on to the founding of the Abbey and Tassing Saints. After that, I should find a way to represent our recent history. Depicting the revolt is important to Dad. People in Tassing might know some of the town's history, but not all of it. Dad said the library in Kearsau had those records. He was going to write to the last prioress to see if she had any information. I should write to her now while I'm thinking about it. All right, where to begin? Dad told me the last prioress at Kearsau knew something about the old history of Tassing. He said she became the abbess of a convent in Bologna. Bologna?
Bologna,
It
I
is
think.
super American to pronounce that word Bologna, and I'm a little embarrassed. Mother Illuminata? Yes, at Santa Margherita. I should write to her. Alright, this is a small town in the Republic of Genoa, along the coast of the Ligurian Sea. Okay, let's try to get this address right here. You mentioned somebody's prior,
Sure, I guess
right?
so.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the top one. Mother Illuminata, Abbess of Santa Margherita, formerly Prioress of Kearsau Abbey.
I both are good.
Yeah.
I like the first one.
Yeah, it's a question of what we're emphasizing, right? I
Yeah.
think I'm with you. My name is Magdalene, because we know from the way she worded that letter to Esther that she's looking to make something that is hers, even
Yeah.
though under the current system, she's going to have to do that through a marriage and stuff. She is looking to get her name to mean something. So, my name is Magdalene Druckerin. I do not believe we ever met, as I was very young when you left Kearsau. You were acquainted with my father. He bought many books from the library before the terrible fire consumed the place. I am writing because my father and I are creating a mural in the Tassing Rat House. It's going to tell the story of our community, and of Kearsau as well. We have only legends and folklore, since, of course, all of Kearsau's books were destroyed in the fire. I was hoping you could tell us something about the early history of the town, when the Romans were here. If you know anything about the early history of the Abbey itself, we would also be glad to hear of it. We would appreciate any help you could give us, and we hope you are well. Father always spoke... It's interesting that there are 3 different options that are like drawing relationship between Illuminata and Klaus, and then this other one that is just a completely different tack.
Yeah. What are you feeling on this one, sweetheart?
I feel like we're asking for a favor, and maybe it behooves us to ingratiate ourselves a little bit.
Yeah.
What is it? Illuminata is going to be prouder of protecting the sisters than of protecting the
I
books,
think
right?
so, yeah.
Yeah, so we'll go this way. Flatter her on what she cares about. My father always spoke highly of you, especially how you cared for the sisters after the fire. God bless you. Magdalene.
I was hoping we get to choose like an illuminating pun at some point in there, just to keep the runner going. But no.
Well, if I want to finish the mural before Christmas, I should start planning tomorrow. I should head to bed and get as much rest as I can. There's a lot of going to bed at this point in the story. Okay, and then some stuff happened. Some days passed, you know.
Sure.
quite a while, actually. A Reichspostman. Ah, Mr. Struckerin, I have a few letters here addressed to you. Cool, I guess. Take care now. Thank you, sir. Mother Illuminata wrote back to me. I hope her response helps me paint the mural.
Oh, rad.
Mistress Struckerin, thank you for your letter. I hope this reply finds you and your father in good health. I remember you both, as your father would carry you between the rows of our library in its final years. I also remember your late mother and brother. God keep their souls. While we did have some books that discussed Tassing's past, it's likely they were as mythological as what your neighbors believe. That said, I remember one of the peasants, Tillman Kreutzer, read about the history of the town. I know he died during the revolt, but perhaps his family knows some of what he learned. I should also say that it's not true that all of Kearsarge's books were destroyed by the fire. Andreas Mahler managed to save some from the flames, God rest his soul. In the aftermath of that terrible night, cataloging and preserving the surviving books was not at the top of any of our minds. Even so, this topic has stirred a memory within me. Several years before the fire, there was a death at Kearsau, the murder of Baron Rothvogel. He had mentioned something about finding a copy of Historia Tassiae, a comprehensive chronicle of your home. I had forgotten about it until now, because the murder dominated all of our thoughts in the days and weeks that followed. It troubles me now because I recall that the late Father Matthias was also reading a copy of Historia Tassiae shortly before he died. We never accounted for either book's whereabouts. They may have been hidden somewhere in the library and went up with everything else. Perhaps Prior Ferenc took it from the Baron after the murder. Ferenc had an interest in books of all sorts, of course, but it seems like an odd thing to do in the moment. Then again, only God knows what he did and why he did it. Mislaus Haberl, I don't know what the umlaut does to the A, the Baron's manservant, believed it may have been stolen by the town thief Martin Bauer. Do we know Mislaus?
I mean, we met him in the first act.
Yeah, that's right. If Martin is still alive, I would ask him if he knows where the book is. Hopefully he didn't trade it for a mug of beer on his way out of Tassing. If the man has passed from this world, perhaps his family knows where the book wound up. As for the history of the Abbey, I fear that was also lost in the blaze. However, as sacristan, Prior Matthew learned a great deal about the subject. I have not kept in contact with him, but I know that he is now the Archdeacon of Sion. Well, that's a bit of an upgrade.
Yeah.
He is no longer a Benedictine, but uses his family name, Fausigny Sao.
Sure.
Maybe. If you write to him soon, your letter may reach him before snow covers Valais. I meant to Cloud. That was just a total miss. Please convey my best wishes to your father. He was a good friend to the Abbey in its better years. Despite the violence that occurred, I hold no ill will toward anyone from Tassing. I pray that you have seen better days since that night, and that God forgives the many errors we made. God bless you as well. Mother Illuminata, Abbess of Santa Margarita. Okay, so she doesn't include, like, the movie that she had a tiny, the roles in her past that are lesser, like.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Esther wrote to me as well. My dear Magda, my parents were glad to hear from your father. Please tell him they wish to hear from him soon. Speaking of printing, your ink was well received indeed. I've made several prints with it. They look lovely on the wall. Alicia has taken to making his own ink from scraps he found around the house after he saw yours. Mother was furious when he spent several pfennigs trying to find lapis at the market. She set him scrubbing the floors for it. Took him 3 days. I'm glad you're keeping busy, even though it keeps you from visiting. Father says we'll have room whenever you decide to make an appearance. Though, really, if you don't plan to stay in Tassing, you ought to come sooner rather than later. There are plenty of beautiful young Christian men around town, printers and academics alike. Or maybe something else. You'd have your pick. I'm sure when she says something else, she means something other than a printer or an academic, probably. But I'm choosing to interpret it.
Yeah, no, me too.
Prague is a good city for me as well. Before the expulsion, there was a handsome man at synagogue, Simund, who caught my eye. His father's a merchant, and he's a doctor. He went to the University of Padua. Can you believe it? I'd quite like to marry him, if I can find him again. Anyway, I think you'd have even better luck than me. The boys would swoon at a beautiful blonde artist from the Alps. Please keep us abreast of your father's mural. We'll have to come see when it is finished. Blessings. Esther. I'll have to write Esther back tonight. I should head home and check on Dad. Hey, Dad. How are you feeling? Magdalene. Sitting upright is still a struggle, I'm afraid. The dizziness makes my stomach turn, so I'd rather not eat at the moment. Are you sure? I can bring up something light, like milk or broth. No. I can't stomach anything just yet. But tell me, where are you off to? Well, I need to get started on the first part of the mural today, the old history. Mother Illuminata didn't know much about Tassing's early history, but she did give me a few places to start. I'm going to ask Black Till if his grandfather told him any stories. Illuminata said he used to read about the Romans. Mother Illuminata, Magdalene. Right. Yes. Mother Illuminata. Kreutzer has mentioned those tales from time to time, yes. He comes by to borrow books now and then. Usually when he's found some interesting old ruin out in the fields. You might ask him about that. Il Peter's always harumphed about how no one paid attention to the old ways anymore, too. I'm sure he'll have some stories to tell about old Tassing. You might stop to talk to him. Okay, yeah, that's a good idea. I didn't think of that. Thanks, Dad. I saw that third response that he's so mean. Listen, if he's mean, we will simply respond in kind.
Yes.
I do not fear this man. Of course, Magda. It's nice to feel useful, even if I am stuck here in bed. Nonsense. I'm just glad you're awake. You might talk to Smokey, too. The old charcoal burner seems to know more about what's in the woods around town than anyone else. That, and he's a known gossip. Well, he's always been kind to me when I chat with him. I'm certain he'll know something about the ruins. You may hear something worth your while at any rate. I'll go talk to him. What about the ruins or the mines? I can't just use books and stories alone. I want to explore whatever is left over from the Romans and before. The salt mine and Roman ruins are the oldest parts of Tassing, so it only makes sense to see what they left behind. You take after your mother. She was always thorough in her research. You always said that's what good artists do, Dad. Be careful, all right? I know the twins mess around near the salt mine, but I don't want you getting hurt. I don't know why York doesn't keep them in line. Always making trouble, those two. Do we have strong opinions about these kids and whether or not they know how to read? I kind of like it.
Yeah.
Well, at least Artemis actually knows how to read. I don't think Apollo can even spell his name.
We met Apollo. He was pretty tough.
The boy struggles with his letters, Magdalene. Don't shame him for it. Not everyone is a printer's daughter. And don't forget your other chores while you're running around town, all right? We still have a household to run. I'll get to them, Dad. Good. Well, I'd better get going if I want to do all that today. I'll see you later, Dad. Good luck, Magdalene. Okay. I'm gonna make an executive decision here. I think that's where we're gonna call it for today.
Okay.
Thank you all so much for watching. When y'all come back next time, we're gonna dig into the business of this mural proper. Also, we have like 600 things on our plate. Magdalene has so much more going on in her life than Andreas ever did.
Yeah.
So, come back next time for tackling the big list and also pissing off everyone in town by painting the most accurate mural we can. And we'll see you then.
Bye.